honest to God, Chris, honest to God, if I did not deliver ratings for Vince McMahon, I would have totally 100% expected to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
I did not achieve what he paid me to do.
But yeah, we'll just close up on this one as far as the Cena and going into the Roman Reigns. I definitely think Roman Reigns takes the win. There's no way that Cena should beat Roman Reigns. But like you said, I mean, it gets to the point of what's next for Reigns after Cena?
Kane, bro.
Oh,
Kane.
wow.
Kane's out there, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Kane Reigns.
I think that what you do, I think you did. I think when he was a part of the Shield, if I'm not mistaken, Kane, he went against Kane. But what you do is you just have like a bunch of legends come back. Like you make Reigns the new legend killer until someone dethrones him at at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You have Kane come back. You bring back, definitely wouldn't surprise me if they bring back Goldberg. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we see Reigns Goldberg at the Royal Rumble just to continue to kill time, to get to that Mania spot.
Even though, bro, I'll tell you, one thing, because he always interests me no matter who he's with. But, bro, how cool would it be if after Cena, bro, how cool would it be if The Fiend showed up on SmackDown?
Okay.
Now that's totally different, bro. Let's face it. They would book it terribly.
Yeah.
You and I both know that. But the visual of him just showing up, I mean, if they knew how to do that, I think there's something there.
I agree. I wouldn't buy a Fiend versus Reigns though, because that Reigns is going to get the win. I think they need to be separated. I think that the problem is with the Fiend. I stand by this. Especially nowadays when everything's about Hurricane Ranas and the Canadian destroyers and triple flips and moonsaults everywhere. And so I think you got to get back into the characters, and you have to. And the problem is when you have strong characters, they don't stand out as much because nowadays isn't really character driven as much as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I would venture to say that's one of the reasons why people are exiting, wrestling. I mean, you have under 2 million viewers on Raw. Like Vince, you were there at the heyday. 2 million, under 2 million viewers on Raw. Like if you wrote a product, Vince, in 1997, 1998, that you found out come Tuesday, Wednesday, that it had 1.7, 1.8 million viewers.
Bro, this is honest to God, Chris, honest to God. If I did not deliver ratings for Vince McMahon, I would have totally 100% expected to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
I did not achieve what he paid me to do. As a matter of fact, Chris, I am not lying to you. If it got to this point, I would either resign or tell Vince, bro, you need to fire me.
Yeah.
I am not doing my job. I'm not lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
I totally expected when I was put in that spot, I totally expected if I did not deliver, I was going to be fired, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just like every single person who doesn't do their job correctly should not expect to have a job. I mean, you got hired to do a job. And
I've said that all along. Like, where is the accountability? Somebody has to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I get hired to write the product, and the product is losing viewership. Like,
right. Yep.
In what business does that work?
Right. In what business would you have a job?
Yeah.
Bro, let's break it down as simply as we can. You're a salesman.
Mm-hmm.
For 20 straight years, your sales are going down. Are you still working for the same company as a salesman?
No way. No way. If I owned a car lot and I hired someone to sell cars,
Right.
and I'm looking at their numbers, and it's causing us to lose clients by me
Right.
hiring you. Why would I want to keep you for my business? It's just simple.
Bro, is that the way? Is the reason because Vince cannot hold himself accountable? Because at the end of the day, it's Vince. It's the accountability of Vince and nobody else. So I'm just wondering, you're the psychologist. Is there something in Vince's mind where it is, if I fire somebody that's been in a creative spot for a long time, at the end of the day, I know it's ultimately me. So am I admitting there's there's layers and layers of stuff there, Chris?
Yeah. From a psychological standpoint, it's a scapegoat effect or scapegoat theory. It's kind of like, knowing that you need to place the blame on someone.
Yeah.
And so essentially you set someone up for failure because either one, you're not confident in your own product or your own self, typically when you have that scapegoat. And there's some insecurities. Insecurities is real big from a psychological standpoint as far as the scapegoat effect, scapegoat theory is concerned. And so when I think about those things, I'm like, how secure is Vince McMahon in his product? And it seems like he's insecure because he's like almost waving the white flag, surprisingly so. Vince McMahon, he's looking at these numbers. He's like, you know what? At least we're bringing in the dough. And the ratings isn't as important because we're getting the money. We're getting more money now than when we had 6 million, viewers.
Right.
But like you said, as a businessman, it boils down to pride and reputation.
It does. Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we book John Cena. Leading up to SummerSlam. It should be pretty interesting to see where we have with SummerSlam. It's going to be back packed out in lights in Vegas on a Saturday night, surprisingly. That's a really interesting concept there. So yeah, this is the SummerSlam, riding with Russo, John Cena, Roman Reigns, with a little Vince McMahon sprinkled in there. We gave you a little bit of everything tonight because, ladies and gentlemen, we have to make sure that you get. Oh my God!
It caught me off guard. You got me out now. You got me out. Bro, how old is your son?
Which one? I have 8 and 6.
The youngest one is 6, bro. Literally, this is you popping your 6-year-old son here, okay, bro?
Oh man, if you're listening to this, I know that I know there's artists around, that is ready to make a drawing of Stop and Check. Okay, I already got gifts, that's been tagged on Twitter about Stop and Check. All right,
I want you to make sure. I want you to make sure sometime tomorrow when you're in the what's your 6-year-old son's name?
Ian, E-I-A-N.
When you and Ian are in the kitchen at the same time, I want you to accidentally walk into the refrigerator, sell it, and I want to see if he laughs harder than Vince.
Okay.
No. You come back and tell me who laughed harder, the 6-year-old Ian or me, bro.
Sounds good. Well, he's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. This is Riding with Russo.